Let me tell you something that's going to change the way you see yourself forever. You are not lazy. You've never been lazy. You've just been lied to your entire life. This might be the most important thing you hear today, because I need you to hear this with your whole heart. You are not lazy. You never were. The world lied to you about motivation. Think about how many times you've been told, you're just not trying hard enough. You're lazy. You're wasting your potential. And every time you heard those words, a little part of you believed it. A little part of you started whispering, maybe they're right. Maybe something is wrong with me. Maybe I'll never change. But I need you to know, that voice is lying. That label is a lie. And the truth is so much bigger than the box they put you in. Let me ask you this. Have you ever spent hours doing something you loved? Maybe gaming, drawing, talking with friends, building something, and suddenly looked at the clock like, whoa, where did the time go? You weren't lazy then, were you? You weren't unmotivated. You were locked in, energized, focused. So how can you be lazy in one part of your life and unstoppable in another? It's simple. You're not lazy. You're misaligned. You're disconnected. You've been chasing things that don't spark your fire, living by rules that don't belong to you, carrying weight that isn't yours to carry. That's not laziness. That's a life that hasn't been lived on your terms yet. Let me tell you a story. A man once sat at his desk every day, staring at his computer screen. His job paid well, but his soul felt heavy. He dragged himself to work, dragged himself through the day, dragged himself back home. And people looked at him and said, man, you're just lazy, you don't have drive. But that same man, every evening, went home and spent hours working on his music. His eyes lit up. His energy soared. He stayed up late into the night writing, producing, creating. He wasn't tired. He wasn't lazy. He was alive. So was he lazy? Or was he just trapped in something that didn't fit who he really was? See, the world doesn't understand this. They confuse exhaustion for laziness. They confuse fear for lack of motivation. They confuse misalignment for weakness. And you've carried those labels for too long. Maybe your teachers called you lazy because you couldn't focus on math, but you could memorize every lyric of every song on the radio. Maybe your boss called you lazy because you weren't excited about working overtime for something you didn't believe in. Maybe even your own family looked at you and thought you just didn't care. But deep down, you know you care. You care so much it hurts. You want more. You crave more. You just haven't found the door that unlocks your fire yet. And let me tell you this, motivation is not about willpower. It's not about screaming at yourself in the mirror. It's not about beating yourself up until you move. Motivation is about connection. It's about meaning. It's about the why. And if you don't feel motivated, it doesn't mean you're broken. It means you're searching. But here's the dangerous part. The world doesn't want you to know this. The world profits off your guilt. The world thrives when you believe you're not enough. Because if you feel broken, you'll buy whatever they're selling to fix you. But you are not broken. You are not lazy. You are powerful beyond belief. Let me tell you something about your brain. Your brain is wired to protect you from pain. That's why you procrastinate. That's why you avoid the hard stuff. Not because you're lazy, but because your brain thinks it's keeping you safe. It's like a guard dog. Sometimes it protects you from real danger. Sometimes it just barks at the mailman. And if you don't understand that, you'll live your whole life thinking, I'm lazy, I'm weak. But once you see the truth, you realize you can train that dog. You can redirect it. You can turn fear into fuel. Now let me get raw with you. How many times have you laid in bed, scrolling on your phone, feeling the weight of the world on your chest, whispering to yourself, "Tomorrow, I'll change." But tomorrow comes, and it feels the same. And then the guilt hits, the shame, the voice that says, "See, you'll never change. You'll always be this way." That voice is the lie. That voice is not who you are. Who you are is the one still searching. Who you are is the one still listening to this right now. Who you are is the one who hasn't given up, even if it feels like you're crawling through the mud. And let me tell you, crawling is still moving forward. Every step counts. Every effort matters. Every breath you take in defiance of that lazy label is proof you're stronger than you think. But here's where it changes. Motivation isn't something you wait for. It's something you build. And it starts small. One tiny step, one small win, one choice to move forward when everything in you screams to stay the same. Because momentum is real. And once you get it, it changes everything. You don't have to sprint. You don't have to leap. You just have to take the first step, and then another, and another. And before you know it, you're running. Before you know it, you're unstoppable. But it begins by rejecting the lie. The lie that you're lazy. The lie that you're broken. The lie that you don't care. Because you care. I know you do. And deep down, you know it too. But maybe you've been chasing the wrong dream. Maybe you've been following someone else's script. Maybe the life you've been told to want isn't the life that was meant for you. And that's why you feel stuck. That's why you feel drained. That's why every day feels like pushing a boulder up a hill. But when you find what's truly yours, it's different. It flows. It lights you up. It pulls you forward. Think about a kid who hates school but can build entire worlds on Minecraft. Think about the worker who hates meetings but comes alive when they're fixing cars. Think about the dreamer who drifts off during lectures but writes poems in the margins of their notebook. Are they lazy? Or are they just gifted in ways the world doesn't understand? Maybe that's you. Maybe your fire doesn't fit in their box. And that's okay, because you weren't made to fit. You were made to stand out. So stop calling yourself lazy. Stop carrying that label like a curse and start seeing it for what it really is. Proof that you're meant for more. Now let me warn you, the world will resist this. The world will keep trying to drag you back. The world will keep saying, don't dream too big, don't take risks, don't stand out. Because the world is comfortable when you're small. But you weren't made to live small. You were made to live big, to live bold, to live fully alive. And the moment you stop believing the lie is the moment your comeback begins. So I need you to hear me right now. Your life is waiting. Your dreams are waiting. Your future self is waiting. And 5 years from now, you'll look back on this moment and say one of two things. You'll either say, I'm glad I started then, or you'll say, I wish I had. And I promise you this, the pain of starting is nothing compared to the pain of regret. So stand up right now. Decide, enough is enough. You're not lazy. You're not broken. You're not weak. You are powerful. You are capable. You are ready. And your time is now. Not tomorrow, not someday, now. Because your future self is begging you not to quit. Your future self is begging you to push through the fear, the doubt, the lies. Your future self is begging you to rise. So rise. Rise with every ounce of strength you have left. Rise with fire in your heart. Rise with the truth ringing in your soul. You are not lazy. You are unstoppable. And this is only the beginning.